Hari Om Tat Sat. Throughout Mandukya Upanishad and or any other scriptures, we will be enjoying the statement Vismayo Yog Bhumikaha. Vismay, the subjective surprise. And the reason we say subjective surprise is that the subject will never ever be found, but we all will be looking for the subject. But why we cannot find it? Because we ourselves are the subject. So may our search be continue, and it will continue. This experiment was shown earlier, and that is to understand and to explain what is illusion. The pencil appears to have been broken or bent, but it is not so. It appears so because of the illusion of refraction. If we do not understand or realize that the pencil is not broken, then we need not have to put in any effort in straightening out. So what is in our real life? What is that bent pencil? The bent pencil is that we are hoping, we are wishing, we are dreaming that our desired object will give us the happiness. That is our bent pencil. But what is there? The fraction or the principle of refraction is to have the experience of the self itself. And what is that self itself? Self itself is the mindless state, where the mind does not interfere, where mind is in a mindless state. With the pencil and water phenomenon, it is the principle of refraction is like a mind. So it appears bent pencil. And over there. And still, one more thing to be understood. What is illusion? Let's look at this experiment.
Do plants have senses? Yes, they do. This tree can see. To approach the support.
Over the course of the next month, I'll be talking nice to plant A and mean to plant B. Let's begin.
You are so pretty and so beautiful, and you're gonna grow so much because I love you. I love you.
What's up, you dumb sack of crap? You trying to grow? You can't grow. Crap's a sack can't grow, you dumb sack of crap.
You're so thirsty? Probably because someone's growing up so fast. Now shut up. You are so much prettier than all these sluts. Seriously, you should be in a botanical garden. I am serious. You look fierce. Oh man, you look like marijuana came down with polio. Okay, day 30. Time to see how it turned out. Plant A, you grew a total of 2 inches. I am so proud of you. Plant B, you grew a total of, who gives a crap? You sack of crap. You couldn't do the one thing that you're supposed to do.
Choose the better one. Between the wheat and tomato. Because the tomato is easier to parasitize. Compete to reach the support. Still try so hard. But finally give up. In 1966, Cleve Baxter, former CIA, made a polygraph test. He connected a dragon pot plant to a lie detector. Within a group, you can recognize the exact person who destroyed its partner, and also conveys the fear. Obviously, the plants have memory and feeling. According to Stefano Mancuso, Italian scientist, plants' memory can last at least 40 days. Plants, undoubtedly, have consciousness.
This slides that the plant have consciousness is so much needed, even though we understand, but the scientific instrumentation have shown scientific instrumentation have shown, and it reminds us better. So on this subject matter of Mandukya Upanishad, some of the words are so critical and that we need to understand. First and the foremost is the word reality. Reality in our day-to-day world, we see something to be real only when our 5 senses, like eyes, ear, nose, tongue, taste, and skin, they feel it. And when you see, when I'm holding an object, that means, oh, it is real. Yeah, it's a mouse. But that is not what our scriptures are talking about. Our scriptures are talking about real to be that which is eternal. Eternal meaning beyond time. No present, no past, no future. Kala Atit. That part need to be clarified. And in the story, is this true or that is true with Janak and Ashtavakra? we studied to remind us of transiency versus reality. Transiency, temporary. What we have, this body to which we identify ourselves as real, because I could feel, yes, I have, this is my body. Feeling is different than what this Upanishad is talking about. That part and that reminder needs to be done so frequently. And the reminder alone will not work, because as the refraction was the filter which prevents us from realizing the pencil is not broken, the pencil is straight. As the refraction did not allow us, or does not allow us even today, so is our mind that prevents us from realizing that this body is not real. Mind you, again, I would say, of a day-to-day experiment and day-to-day's life gives us the meaning of real thing to be that which is perceivable, that which is felt, that which is understood. But we have no aspect of beyond time, beyond past, present, and future. And as a result, we are considering this to be forever, this meaning the body. And that's what we call real. So throughout the Upanishad, those great masters, they are reminding us that this is not real. And since this is not real, we all would like to have the real experience. But then what prevents us from realizing it? Study of Upanishad, chanting of the divine name, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, all those words we know. But as we just learned a few minutes ago, that as the refraction prevents us from realizing that the pencil is real, pencil is straight, so does the mind prevents us from understanding or realizing that this body, to which we call real, is not real. So what prevents it? That is the mind. And all the Upanishads, using different modes, reminds us that our body is transient, and what we see, what we experience, what we hear, what we see, what we smell, what we taste is not real. And how it is done is to calm the mind down. and how to calm the mind down. Various techniques have been presented to us by those great scientists, which we call Rishi, the seers. And these various ways we have been reminded, and the last but one time we saw what Sankaracharya has written, Shivam, Shiva, Aham, Aham I, Shiva, the ocean of consciousness, or the Chaitanya Atma, whatever you call it. And various modes of existence of consciousness have been given us. Sat, Chit, Ananda, modalities. So any time in the life where we come across Sat, Chit, and or Anand, still the same thing, they all coexist. Chitta, the movement of existence, which we saw in the tiniest particles of the biological plant, also to understand that the plant has life, plant has mind, plant has memory, plant has eyes. That's why those experiments were shown, and we looked at it, we studied. So anything, these are sentient, these are understandable, but there is nothing that does not have life. Whereby we know that the self movement, like the plant had as it was circling and was grabbing the support for their livelihood. So we know that wherever there is movement, it is chitta, and there is a bliss, ananda. Ananda meaning it itself is. There is nothing that brings ananda or the happiness to it. Sat, reality. Reality, consciousness, bliss, if I have to use the English translation. And Upanishad, in one after another sloka, is slowly building up our environment whereby we can understand the significance of dharana and dhyan. Dharana, contemplation, dhyan, meditation. And as ever stated, meditation happens. Dharana is our effort. And what is dharana in the case of that pencil and water is to, once you remove the water, then the pencil is straight. Once you remove the mind, that doesn't mean you kill yourself. Understand. Once you bring the mind to a mindless state, then the self that experiences itself is nothing but bliss. And quite often, we have been told, and we all are looking for peace, and we think that we can create peace or we can find peace. But anything that we do that can create disturbance only. Peace is no moment. And reaching to its core of existence. And you will notice that when we say Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, we are creating the vibrations. We are creating the disturbance. So truly speaking, by saying or by keeping peace, do you think we create peace? Peace is inherent nature of the existence. So, and we will be learning this word real to be that which is eternal. And it does not mean perceivable. Perception is not an indicator of reality. Once again, perception is not an indicator of reality. Perception is an indication of existence of object, and object is not subject, and subject is not object. Subject there is one, object are many. That doesn't mean that I am, my real self is one and I am many. No, that's not what I meant. Subject, Shivoham, Shiva, is all pervading reality. Even though this body is different, that's why I am called Sonaji and you are you. But both of us are the same. That is reality. The consciousness is all pervading. And that's what we learned in Ishavasya Upanishad. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. In this all pervades Isha. Mandukya is guiding us. Same thing, no difference, but from a different angle. Reminding that what is reality? What is eternity? What do we mean or understand by the word beyond time and beyond space? And for which often repeated words, dharana, dharana, and dharana. But let's see how the entire Upanishad is guiding us.
Shivoham, Shivoham. शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिव स्वरूपोऽहं नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं मुक्तोऽहं नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं मुक्तोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिव स्वरूपोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिव स्वरूपोऽहम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपम् अरूपम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपम् अरूपम् ब्रह्मोऽहं ब्रह्मोऽहं ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहं ब्रह्मोऽहं ब्रह्मोऽहं ब्रह्मा स्वरूपोऽहं चिदोऽहं चिदोऽहं सच्चिदानन्दोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिव स्वरूपोऽहम्
This stanza, we need to remind ourselves at least once a day to remind and taking us out of the elusive personality of our body with which we call it real. So Shiva, Aham, I am Shiva, Shiva, the ocean of consciousness. Shiva Swarupa Aham, Swarupa, my real Swarup is Shiva. Nitya Aham, Nitya, eternal. Shuddhoham, I am the pure, you can say purest. The degree doesn't mean much, but there's nothing pure other than yourself. And that is, our self is not made of anything. Had it been made up of anything, then you know that beside you there is something else. So it cannot be just by itself. It cannot be the purest. Buddhoham, I am that Buddha, the state of intelligence. Muktoham, mukta, free, liberated. There's nothing that binds us. And he says, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva, Swarupaham. Advaita Anandam, Rupam Arupam. I am Advaita, I'm non-dual. There is not I and something else. So the element which is eternal is Advaita, non-dual, Ananda. At the same time, Rupam Arupam, I can take the form of Rupa, meaning form, colors, characteristic, Arupa, abstract. Brahmoham, Brahmaswarupaham, Brahma, ever expanding reality. Chidoham, Chidoham, Satchidananda Om. Chidoham, the existential movement that I am, that is consciousness, Sat, that is Chit, the existential movement, and Ananda, Ananda bliss, Oham, I am that. So Shivoham, Shivoham, Siva, Swarupoham. You can find the stanzas, script as well as the song, on YouTube in various forms, and I will highly recommend that begin your day with this beautiful reminder. Let's move on to the next one. This is the explanation I gave. Now we'll go to the prayer or the Shanti part. And Shanti part, there are few terminology we have to understand. Bhadra, auspicious. Bhadra, peaceful, beautiful. Swasti, blessing. Dharma means to know the reality. Dharma, do not please translate as religion. Ishvara, the supreme controller, and Isha is nothing but intelligence and energy, which is Siddhanta and Shakti. Now, kindly, those of you can read the Devanagari, you can read others. Those of you don't, you may want to read the transliteration. So let me take this bar out. And we'll hear it and then we'll read the translation. Shantipad.
भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ओमित्येतदक्षरमिदगुं सर्वम्.
Understanding every word, but let's just read the translation. And it's a prayer. O ye God, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. Meaning we keep on hearing, so that will remind us of elusive influence, very similar to that of refraction, and it reminds us of our mind to silence the mind. O worshipful divinity, divine ones, worshipful ones, may we with our eyes see what is auspicious. So eyes to see auspiciousness, ear to hear auspiciousness, tongue to taste what is auspiciousness. May we live the entire length of our allotted life, hale and hearty, offering our praises unto thee, meaning offering our prayer, offering, reminding ourselves to ourselves of ourselves that we hear only what is auspicious. And when we hear auspicious, when we see auspicious, that is the way of a kind of a reminder to us of the principle of refraction or our mind. May Indra, the Lord of Lords, the ancient and the famous Pushana, Nourisher, the all-knowing, the Lord of swift motion, Vayu, and mind you, these are at the time of Veda, whatever time it was, let's not worry about 5,000 or 50,000 years ago. But all those natural elements were existing, like earth, water, vayu meaning gas, air, and space. So those are the ones that natural powers at that time was treated as a rupa, existential appearance or experiences, whereby we feel that there is the reality exists in accentuated form, and that is there, who saves us from all harms. And Brahaspati, the guru or guru's guru, who protects the spiritual wealth in us, blesses, meaning you're really praying yourself, because and I will talk to you in a minute about Shanti, and why we have Shanti Path. Bless us with the intellectual strength to understand the scripture and the heroic heart to follow the teachings. So important, the heroic heart to follow the teaching. Om, peace, peace, peace. We'll look at one more, this illusion, and then we go to the explanation. To see that this is nothing but a piece of paper, but how it appears a three-dimensional box. To see how when he is moving the paper, our own eyes can be cheated. You see now, this looks like the box with three-dimensional. And by moving it in different direction, it will give us a different object altogether. Just see it. So you think that our eyes, look at this, different. I like it, so I thought I will share with you. So this Santi part, and at the time when any of this scriptural study was made or was going on, or was it a dialogue between guru and disciple or disciples, they perform yajna, the fire ceremony. Fire ceremony is also an indicator to remove the ignorance, to remove the darkness, and burn the avidya. What is avidya? Avidya is not necessarily ignorance per se, but avidya meaning that which is not real is made to be understood as real. So take the example. We are so ignorant of the subject, self, Atma, Brahman, whatever word you use. And we identify this to be real, our body to be real. That itself is avidya. Avidya is not that we don't know Mandukya Upanishad, or we don't know Ishavasya, or we don't know what a Veda is. Even if you are 100% ignorant of all the scriptures, but if you genuinely experience that this body is mortal and it is anitya, anitya means temporary or transient, but you yourself, your true self, is real. So that kind of ignorance, when offered in the fire with those mantras, and before we do that, it could be that some bodily and mental distraction can happen. So the first Shanti, when it is stated, it is that our body may be fit to perform and our mind will be serene to offer and understand. Second Shanti addresses the environment. May the environment be suitable so that we perform this yajna, the fire ceremony. And the third one is along our path of search, along our path of reality. And what is it? That many times it will take months, years, sometimes lives in our search, and there will be enough obstruction. And one of the biggest obstruction can be your frustration. Oh, I've been practicing this yajna for the last 20 years, nothing has happened. Do you think still something needs to happen? The only thing that need to happen, or if at all will happen, is to go beyond the body and beyond the mind. And you reach to such a deep state of silence that you do not know where you are, what you're experiencing. And that state is state of bliss, the ananda. And at that time, you are not bound. Understand this beauty. So the third Shanti is requesting the universal truth. Bless us, O Guru, O Brahaspati, O Vayu, O Pushana, O Sun. Allow us to experience you, which is I am. As we progress further, we will be understanding so many paradoxes. It is and it is not. How can it have form and abstract simultaneously? But that is the beauty of our scriptures. Let me now introduce to the first sloka of Mandukya Upanishad.
ओमित्येतदक्षरमिदगुं सर्वं तस्योपव्याख्यानं भूतं भवद्भविष्यदिति सर्वमोङ्कार एव यच्चान्यत्र कालातीतं तदप्योङ्कार एव.
In this sloka, it explains that Bhutam means past, Bhavat present, and Bhavishya iti Sarva Omkar. All the three Kala is Omkara, and still it says it's using the word Tri Kala Atitam, three Kala time, and Atitam beyond the three Kala. Whatever it is, if at all, then that too is Omkar. And Omkar, again, highly request you, do not take Omkar as just that symbol or that chanting or that sound right now, and we will understand as we progress further. So, understanding word by word, Om iti, this is or thus it is, eta this, aksharam syllable. Remember the word akshara. To kshara means something that is destroyable, is unreal, or it is temporary. Kshaya and akshara. Idam, this, sarvam, all. Tasya, of that, upavakyam, a clear exposition, a clear explanation. Bhutam, past, bhavat, present, bhavishyat, future. Iti, thus, sarvam. This is how all is what Omkara, that is all reality. Eva, only, yet, that, cha, and, or, anyat, anything else. Anyat, and what is anyat beyond the Trikala? Trikala atitam, beyond the three periods of time. That api also is Omkara, only Omkara and nothing else. Let's see. This is the translation. Hari Om. Om, the word is all this. A clear explanation of it is the following. What is it? All that is past, present, and future. Verily is Om. It is nothing but Om. That which is beyond the three periods of time is also indeed Om. Now, if you recall, I will not take the sloka number 2 right now. So, understanding every word in the Shivoham, when we were reading, when we were chanting and understanding, it has been used the word rupam, arupam. Now, rupam meaning form, with form and without form, with form and abstract. And over here, he's saying what? Trikala Tita. That too is Om. So that is further explaining to us that there is nothing but the reality. And as we were studying Shivoham, in that he says Suttoham, meaning just understand that if Rupa would not have been Shiva and Arupa, which is abstract, has happened to be only real, then you can say there are two things, something real and something unreal. But real and unreal, everything is real. It has different forms of manifestation. So understanding the word rupam, arupam, and the word advaita, non-dual, every word we will be so frequently studying under various ways. So as soon as you say that your body is different from the reality, no, it just gets manifested. So it appears as a rupa, but it is that with which you exist is abstract, appears to be unreal, but that is beyond time, beyond space. So understand this little detail. So in the sloka 1, it said the three kala, that is past, present, and future, everything is Om. Again, Om, right now, understand the word reality. And something which is beyond that, Trikala Atita. Atit means beyond. So beyond the Trikala is also Om. So in other words, everything is Om, but I cannot even use the word everything, because in that case, thing means perceivable. You can catch hold of. Whatever you can catch hold of has to be different and other than you. Otherwise, what you can get hold of. So understanding the first time when we were studying, we knew that the subject is one, objects are many. Subject is eternal, objects are transient. And that differences we have to understand. And still it appears different. Like the pencil appears bent, the broken one, but that is not so. So in order to understand the illusion with which it appears different, like the paper was showing three-dimensional box, and the pencil appears to be bent or broken. And in that light, the story which we heard, that of that king and Guru Ashtavakra, Janaka was thinking, and he was so confused. What was the confusion? That what I saw in the dream, that I lost the kingdom, I lost the war, and I didn't have any food to eat. And right now, when I'm awake, so-called awake, I can experience, I could see the different reality. Using the word reality, understand what appears to be perceivable. So then he got so puzzled, and he is in the Vismay state of, is this real or that is real? And this question will come to each and every one of us, particularly at the time of pain, at the time of misery. And we'll be questioning, why me? Oh God, why did you take my father away? Oh Lord, why did I have to go through the divorce? Why did I lose my business? Why did I lose all the money that I had? I had close to $1 billion in my stock market, and all of a sudden it went down to just a couple thousand. Illusion. That which was not yours, and that which is today and is different from what was yesterday, or what is today and what will be different in future. So this is transient, and that's why it is rupa. The arupa is abstract form, and once when you realize, but the main difference, I will call it, between rupa and arupa is rupa exists, rupa means form, exists only because of arupa, only because of abstract nature, only because of the subject, object exists. Remind yourself, this is conclusive statement we are hearing today, and that is only because of the subject, object exists. Once more, only because of the subject, object exists. Only because of the consciousness of the spirit or Brahman or Atma, body exists, you exist. So to make use of this time, reminding yourself over and over, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva Swarupaham. That is the purpose of the life, to experience the ultimate freedom, moksha, whereby understanding moksha, liberation, is not in heaven, or there is nothing like heaven. Heaven can be, or it is, nothing but the state of our mind, and that is mindless mind is heaven. And that is the time where the principle of refraction, principle of ignorance, avidya, disappears. And vidya, the self-experience of yourself, that is Shiva Swarupaham. With this, dear friend, I will stop here. We'll chant once more Shantipat, and we'll meet you next Thursday. Just let us have our eyes closed and we'll listen.
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु